Alright everyone out there in guitar land, Mike Hedding here. Just got a little mini guitar lesson for you today. We're going to talk about some left hand stretching and strengthening exercises. I use these a lot of times as just little warm-up exercises. The fret spacing on a guitar is pretty big compared to like a mandolin or a banjo. So stretching and proper left hand technique becomes really important, especially if you want to play more advanced songs, or even if you just want to play like a C chord. You know, if you're a beginner, you might have tried this just basic C chord and it feels like a really, really big stretch. So what we're going to practice on this lesson is just some warm-up stretching and strengthening exercises. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start up on the 5th fret. So up here, I think you can do these exercises anywhere, but it'll be a bigger stretch down here. So let's start up a little bit higher. The frets are a little bit smaller up here. And what we're going to do is let's start on the high E string. It'll be easier on the smaller strings. It'll be trickier on the thicker strings. You can do it on any of the strings though. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take all 4 fingers and we're going to play 1 finger for each note. So we're going to play on the 5th fret, our 1st finger, 6th fret with our 2nd finger, 7, and 8. And what I'm practicing is keeping these all in the same angle, so one is not playing down here while the other fingers are playing up here. I'm also practicing keeping these fingers down, so I'm not doing this. See how I can cheat and not stretch? Where if I do it this way, it forces me to keep my hand stretched out and strong. So it's really important. Also, with your right hand, don't worry if you're doing all downs, or you can do down ups. So that'd be the one thing you could try. The other thing you could practice if you wanted something even easier to start is bouncing off each finger with the open string. You know, if you've never even played notes with your pinky and 3rd finger, maybe start with this. Don't worry what it sounds like. It's not going to be very musical. We're just literally kind of doing like strengthening exercise. Like you think of it kind of like lifting weights. Let's go down to the 2nd string and do the same thing. 3rd string, you can try it on all the strings, or try the other one I was doing. See, I'm not lifting my fingers up. I'm getting all my fingers close to the frets. The other thing you want to work on is as you go up or down the strings, see how I'm keeping the same angle of my fingers? I'm not turning this way, for example, and as I get to the lower strings, like my hand position shouldn't change. If I'm down here, hopefully I can do the same hand position. Obviously, it's going to be trickiest down here. So that'd be the first thing. Again, you can try it wherever you want. But I think starting up here is easier, right? So let's go back up to the 5th fret. So one more time. So that'd be the first thing you could practice. The second thing you could practice is kind of keeping one finger anchored and playing in between different fingers. So on easier songs, you're probably just going to be using mainly your index and middle finger for like easy lead songs, right? But any more advanced songs, you're going to need your 3rd finger and pinky. So another thing we could practice is like anchoring our 1st finger on the 5th fret of the high E. So that'll kind of sound like the Jaws theme, right? And then try your 1st and 3rd finger. Maybe try your 1st and pinky. Maybe see if you can even reach your pinky up one higher. Notice how my 1st finger's down the whole time. I'm not doing this. Look how much more work that'd be if I was lifting my 1st finger every time. So let's try with our 2nd finger anchor. This will be a trickier. Try it on any of the strings. And lastly, let's try our 3rd finger anchored, so just playing between our 3rd finger and pinky. That's going to be the trickiest one. So shake it out. Definitely don't expect you to get these all right away. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you, but just practice these as your warm-up exercise. Again, you want to be able to play between any combination of fingers, right? So you want to be able to play between your second finger and your pinky, or your first finger and your third finger, or whatever combination you have to do. Because then you can do stuff like this. You know, where you're playing between all your different fingers. The next thing we should try is hammer-ons. It'll be very similar to what we just did. Now I'm doing hammer-ons in between each finger. Like, that's tricky. The third finger or pinky hammer-ons. Whoops, I just missed. See, you gotta practice it. Obviously, your pinky is probably going to be the wimpiest. I know for me it was. So I really like highlighting my pinky and kind of forcing myself to play with it. And again, shake it out, get some blood reflow into your fingers. You can also do pull-offs. Or third finger, second finger pull-offs. You really have to keep your plant finger sturdy there. Otherwise, you can pull the string off the fretboard. You see it? Hear that? If I don't commit. Let's try a third finger pinky. This will be the trickiest one. But you can practice it between any of your fingers. Those will be definitely way harder down here, so I would try those on the high strings first. But again, you want to be able to do hammer-ons and pull-offs in between any of your fingers. So that'd be, again, something to try. The next thing we could try is going across the string. So instead of having all of our fingers on the same string, what if we went... So it's not going to be very musical, again, so I'm going strings 6, 5, 4, 3. And I'm also stretching across the strings. So that's one little thing you could do, is you could go up 4 strings, and then go up the next 4, and then the next 4, and then back down. Again, it's not going to be very musical, or try it the opposite way. Or back down. That's definitely going to be very helpful for like bigger chords like this one, or like this G way up here. So that's a really good practice. You know, so you can do them all like that, or try them in a different order. Really, whatever combination you can come up with, up and down with just 2 fingers. And then try first and pinky. So again, it's not gonna sound like a musical line, but we're just practicing getting our coordination, getting our strength, getting our dexterity. Guitar, you really have to be able to do some big stretches, you know, the C chord, you know, these bigger, like this movable D shape that you can move around is a really big stretch, you know, and you need to have these fingers all be able to be at the proper angle to play a chord like that. You can't be bent back like this. You need to have the strength in each finger, and it's tricky, right? You know, so it takes a lot of strength in each finger to be able to play a chord like that and get them all really clear. And that's tricky. So always practice it up here too, and then move it back down. If you're ever trying to practice like some tough stretch, move it up the neck, especially if it's not something that has to be a certain key. Just move it up. And then move it back down as you get it down. So you're just practicing that kind of stuff, playing between each finger. It'll really help you with your chords, like even practicing a C chord like that. You could also practice jumping every other string. You know, that'd be kind of like practice for your C chord. Alright? So hopefully that gives you a couple little ideas to practice for some warm-up exercises. again, if you can get your strength and your stretching down, you're just going to be that much more prepared to learn new songs. When it's like, oh, I got to use my pinky for the song. If you've never ever played with your pinky before, obviously that song is going to be a lot more challenging. If you've already practiced with your pinky and you can do pull-offs and hammer-ons and play clean notes with your pinky, you're just going to be that much more prepared to play the songs that you encounter in real life. All right, give that a try, and hopefully it helps you out. All right, good luck.